Okay, today's lesson is on adding polynomials, which is actually very similar to yesterday's lesson. With the simplifying polynomials, we're basically doing the exact same thing. All that we're going to do when we're adding polynomials is combine the like terms, just like we did yesterday and just like we did when we were solving two-step equations. All we need to remember is that like terms have the same variable and the same exponent. And then the nice thing is with adding polynomials, you can see these two are both set up in parentheses. And so really what that does is usually they write what's in the parentheses in standard form, so it kind of lines up the like terms for us. And you can see in this one, I start with a 2x squared here, and I start with an x squared here. They're both x squareds, they're like terms, so I'm going to combine those. So I have 2 plus, remember there's 1 here when there's not a number, that's a 1. So 2 plus 1 is going to give me 3x squareds. Then my next term in each of these is just plain x. So those are like terms. 3x plus 4x, that gives me 7x. And at the end, I have just two whole numbers, a 5 and a 1. So I add those up. 5 plus 1 gives me 6. Just like yesterday, we do want to make sure these are always written in standard form. We always do that when we talk about polynomials. So we're just going to check and make sure at the end that yes, this is standard form. So I've got an exponent of 2, an exponent of 1, and no variables, or an exponent of 0. So they are going down. We're all set. That's standard form. So let's look at another one here. Same thing. This is all set up for us. We just have to add these polynomials. So I look at the first terms. I've got a 5x squared and a 4x squared. Both x squareds, add them up. 5 plus 4 is 9. So I have 9x squareds. Then my next term over here is a 7x. And I have a plain x over here. So I'm going to add those up. 7 plus, again, this is a 1 over here. 7 plus 1 is going to give me 8x's. And now at the end, I see that I have just a plain whole number in the first polynomial. I don't have anything to combine it with in the second polynomial. So if there's nothing to combine it with, it's just going to come right down here as is. So plus 1 at the end of this. So there's my answer. 9x squared plus 8x plus 1 is the answer when I add those. And exponent of 2, exponent of 1, exponent of 0. We're good. It's in standard form. One more here. And on this one, we have to do something before we can add or subtract. We need to distribute. We know we're distributing because we have this number right outside of the parentheses. It's being multiplied by what's in here. So I'm going to multiply this by both of these. 6 times x squared is 6x squared. 6 times a negative x, negative 1x, negative 6x. Now I'm going to take the 3 and distribute it to both of those. And so 3 times 9x squared is going to be 27x squared. Just multiply the numbers, keep the variable the same. And 3 times a negative 2x, 3 times negative 2 is negative 6x. And now I just have to go through and combine the like terms. So first I see I've got a 6x squared and a 27x squared. 6 plus 27 is going to give me 33x squareds. And then I have a negative 6x and a negative 6x. So negative 6 minus 6 is negative 12. And that's negative 12x. If you have trouble with your negatives, always use your calculator to make sure you're getting that right. Negative 6 minus 6 is not 0. It is negative 12. So if you're not sure on what it's going to be, always go to the calculator to make sure we get that right. And again, we're going to check this is in standard form. I got it an x squared and then applying x. So yep, that's standard form. There's my answer. I'm all set. It's just combining like terms when I add polynomials, just like solving equations, just like simplifying them yesterday.